We're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Thursday. Happy, whoever is watching us in the future. It might not be a Thursday. It's Thursday today. My name is Amy Shine, and I have a beautiful guest with me here, Mel. Do I say your name
Thank
properly?
you. Yes, properly. Just amazing. Happy to be
Mel.
here.
So, Mel, you're French, right?
I'm Algerian. I speak French fluently and Arabic too, and a bit of Japanese.
Oh, I love it. You're just like multi-talented. And you're living in you're living in Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, I'm in Abu Dhabi at the moment.
And I'm here in Florida. And today we are talking about walk ins.
Wow.
And I
It
actually
sounds
wrote confused or clear.
it sounds like science fiction title.
Yeah. What is a walk in? What are you talking
Yeah.
about? So, this is a specialty topic of Talk to the Entities. Walk ins is also something we touch into a little bit when you do the Access Consciousness Foundation class. Um, and then when you take some Talk to the Entity classes, we go more in depth into the topic of walk-ins. So where should we start, Amel?
Yeah, I will ask you like the beginner question. So, what is talking to entities for people who never heard about that? Because actually, everyone is invited to this call. It's an intro.
Yeah. So I
So,
guess so an entity is anything that is defined. So you're an entity because your name, you're defined. You're a woman and your name is Amel. You live in Abu Dhabi. So that you're all the definitions you have of you creates you as an entity. Your business is an entity. You teach access classes. Like there is a certain identity that your business has. Um, so we're all entities. We're all everything is an entity really. Now when we talk about talk to the entities, the class of talk to the entities, we're talking about talking to entities, beings that don't have bodies anymore, which specifically is the spirit world.
yes, and I love this. I mean, I love this class, um, especially that the perception after this kind of call changed totally in your life. So I heard a lot of people saying that I'm scared. I'm scared by this word, by the unseen, by even walking. What is a walking? It does, and so how can we just um yeah,
It's
go ahead.
funny they say they're scared. I'm like, so you're scared of yourself because you are an entity. So you're like, oh, I'm scared of entities. Well, then you're saying you're scared of yourself because you're an entity. You just happen to have a body so you can physically see your body. But if you leave your body dies, you are still an entity. You become an entity without a body. So this whole conversation with walk-ins, it it's actually very interesting. It fascinates me. Like it also is a topic that gives me a lot of freedom because there is you can have multiple beings in a body. And it's not actually something that's wrong and it's not something that's scary. It's actually a capacity, it's actually a gift. So if you decided, like Emil, you came into the world and the first being came in, right, and took the identity of Emil and chose the family and all that and where you were born. And then say at age 6, you were like, I don't want to fucking be here anymore. Like, I'm done. Or maybe before you came in, you were like, I only want to be here for 6 years. Like, I don't want to be an adult. I don't want to, like, I only require 6 years on the planet. So you may have made commitments before you came in with other beings and said, hey, I'm only going to go in for 6 years. At 6, I'm going to leave. Do you want to come in and take over the body? And so it's actually a real gift because it's like multiple beings can occupy one body. Now, problems start happening when the walk ins aren't conscious. So if at age 6, you're like, okay, I'm leaving, and then this other being comes in, but if you're not conscious about it, or you are somehow stuck, you somehow don't leave the body, you go to sleep. And what happens then is the other being comes in and takes over, and then that becomes the second being that is Amel. You take on the identity of the first being. You still have the same family and all that. Um, but that actually might get very confusing now, because now you have two beings in one body. One is asleep, one is running the show, running, leading your life. But what happens is that it creates a lot of confusion in your body, and it doesn't create a lot of clarity for you when there's multiple beings, even if they are asleep, because sometimes that other being might wake up and be like,
Exactly.
I don't want to eat
And
that food, or I don't want to go there, I want to go there. And so
it's, yeah, it's really funny that you said that, because sometimes we perceive around us some people who's acting really weird in the moment, having reaction of a 3 years old or maybe 6 years old, or and y- uh, getting these tools and getting um, all these informations are really contribution.
yeah, and the reason that yeah, it is a contribution. And so, but also people, so like there's a couple of like core like pieces you have to get for you to have freedom with this topic. And this is what the class is. The class is inviting you to receive actually education about walk-ins, pragmatic, true education, not the stuff that you buy from movies. See, a lot of people have a point of view that they're at the effective entities. Or like you said, people are scared to even talk. They don't even want to look at this conversation of walk-ins. They're scared of it because it's like they bought somewhere some lies about this conversation. Like they've decided this is something it isn't. And the number one tool is like people think, oh, that someone can just walk into your body. No, no, nobody, no being, no other entity can just walk into your body. You somewhere create that. You agree to it. Yeah, you create it. It may not be cognitive. You might not have at age 6 been like, I'm going to leave my body today, you know? And another being's going to come in, but somewhere you made that choice. It may just be energetic. You may not have a cognitive memory of it. So nothing happens you create everything. So if you have had walk-ins, or if you do know, maybe there
You
isn't
are a walk-in.
our walk-in,
Mm.
you like, and there's a gift in that. And but you have to first get that you are the creator of your reality. You are creating everything. Nothing is happening to you, and no entity can just take over your body unless you allow it, you agree to it, you give them permission.
And this is a true empowering. Having this, I have, for me and personally, this information is the key information. And it's really changed my perception of entities and all this word, because uh, you are the dominant energy of your body and you choose whatever you want to choose. And let's be an allowance for everyone, but it's, you can choose. I mean, nothing happened to you, and that's something who really shifted a lot, because in some cultures we have this fear that the spirit gonna take your body and they're gonna um I mean do something bad to you or whatever. So could you say more about that?
Yeah, well, fear is a great distractor implant. Like, look around the world today, like how much is everything's fear driven, especially now with COVID and coronavirus, like all that, it's all fear based, wear your mask or you'll get sick, get the vaccine, you'll get sick. Like it's all running on fear. And like, what does fear do to people? It controls them.
Control.
Yeah.
Control.
So fear is always a way to control other people, but how much do you use fear to control you? And then also you want to look at, okay, like, because fear is never real. It's actually like an acronym, false evidence appearing real. Fear is never real. It's an invented point of view. So if you're willing to be present with the energy when it comes up, right? So say you do have a lot of like, oh my God, I don't even want to look at this, Amy. I don't want to even turn off Amy's video. You're like, or I don't want to take a talk to the end of the class. I don't want to know about this. You're resisting it, right? Chances are there's something in there. It's usually the things you resist the most are the things that set you free.
Yeah.
If you get the energy of, okay, this, like, oh my God, this, and especially thank you for bringing up, a lot of cultures do have that, like the spirits take over, and we see the movies like the Exorcism and
Exactly.
all those movies, and they're so dramatic, and like this child's body has been taken over by the devil and a demon. Like, no, that is all fear based, and TV and movies are set up that way, and religion, to control you. Because if they can control you with fear, then you'll never actually be as
You, the
powerful.
greatness that you are.
Yeah.
Mm.
Be the greatness, be as powerful, be all knowing, trust in you, know that you're the creator of your life. You would never look outside of you for, the answer, for a guru. And the thing about it is, if you actually just sit with the energy of the fear and go, okay, what's underneath this? Because fear isn't real. So what's the energy underneath this? And I could probably guarantee you there's a power and a
Power.
potency, yeah, underneath there that you are hiding, resisting, refusing.
Yeah. Can you speak a bit about the power of having the tools of the walk in? What this
Oh my God.
created for you? What this changed for you?
It set me free. It really set me free. I this topic, like, and it is a challenging topic, right? Walk-ins is a challenging thing to look at. People don't want to look at it. I have people in my foundation class who are like, no,
Yeah,
not
that's the
even.
reaction, even in the entity class, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get it. Like, it's the reason being is because it challenges your identity. Because if you were to look at, okay, if I had multiple beings and in my body, which one am I? I'm the last one that came in. Some of us have to look at, we weren't born with our parents. Like, our body was, but us the being weren't. So it challenges all these identities about our past, which is only about our past. But it's so crazy because we make our past so relevant,
So relevant. Mm.
you know? And it challenges the core of your identity, and that is something that a lot of us don't want to challenge. But if you're willing to have it challenged, it sets you free. Because if you're not defined by your identity, you don't have your past constantly dictating what you can choose today.
And stopping you. Mm.
Yeah, and your reason and justification, yeah. And a lot of people also really love their stories of their past, and when they get that their stories of their past isn't even their story, it's maybe somebody else, another being that was with your body that's gone now. You have to be willing to let go of that too, like the attachment to the stories. Now, your body does have memories, and your body, like, so your body will still have a connection to the people, to your family, to all that, but you, the being, may not. So this may actually give you a lot of clarity in areas where maybe you've felt like you were an outsider, or you felt different, or maybe like you liked certain activities for a while, and then all of a sudden you did like a total change. It can give you a lot of clarity. And I guess it's like, do you actually desire clarity? Do you desire that ease? Do you desire that level of freedom?
And how much ease did you get with your body? Being connected
Oh my God. So
differently, because imagine if you get like boop, 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 five voices in your head just shouting something different, and after that, like, wow.
I have to say that, like, before I was willing to let go of the walk-ins like that I had in my body, like, there was a lot of confusion in my body. Like, I was always confused. I could not make a decision
Decision.
to save your life. Like, if you had said to me, Amy, do you want tea or coffee? I'd be like, tea, coffee, no, tea, no, coffee, no, actually water. No, I don't want anything at all. That's what every choice was like, from the small ones to the big ones. It was so confusing because there was multiple beings wanting to choose multiple things.
Exactly when you said that, it's funny because some people are saying, like, I'm struggling with light and heavy. I don't know exactly what I want. I don't know. Sometimes it's like yes, and then it's a no, and then it's yes again. So what if you can explore this from another point of view?
Yeah.
And
You could
yeah,
ask, how many beings are in my body right now? And you can even ask, am I walking? And if you get yes, it's not wrong, right? But maybe then you can look at, okay, what's it going to take, like, to change this? Like, is there beings that I can clear? And if so, what's required? Like, do I require a talk to the entity class? Do I require a class on walk-ins? Do I require a session with a facilitator? You know?
yeah. And you saying that it's just opening something to all the, to don't go to the wrongness of all the weirdness happening around us, like having maybe some people around who's not really congruent, or you not being congruent with your choices, or etc. There is this space of, there is something else available and it's possible to change it. So
Yeah.
who can we invite to this class, to this intro? But I'm sure that it's not intro. You don't do intro, Emmy. No.
Oh, I don't. This is not it. This is
No.
walk-ins is
Sorry.
an introduction topic, but if you're ready to hear it, I don't think any access classes are introduction classes. Like,
Exactly. It's like
access is so
explode
advanced.
your word.
Yeah. Access, especially talk to the entities and all of access. Gary says is talking to like a 500 years into the future,
Wow.
you know? So like for those of you who choose it, like you're the courageous ones. You're willing to look at this. And walk-ins has been depicted in movies. Like I watched The Ghost. I think it's called The Ghost. Yeah, The Ghost. It's with
There is.
it's an old movie with Demi Moore and who is the guy? Patrick Swayze.
Oh yeah.
And it's called The Ghost. And in that, Whoopi Goldberg is like the psychic spiritual medium, and he jumps into her body. Like, so they do depict a bit of the walk-ins. They just don't depict it in the way that, like, to the extent that walk-ins is a reality. They just gave it a quick, like, he could jump into her body, but when he did, she kind of like, you know passed out, and he overtook her body, and he was, which, so they depict a small bit of it. There's just so much more to the conversation. And a lot of it too,
Exactly.
Mel, is the stuff you brought up, like your body, like the impact it has on your body, the choices you're making with your body. And so the walk-ins is really a conversation for you to get freedom for you, and it's also to create clarity and ease for you. So if you look back at your childhood and you don't remember your childhood, and you only have like one or two images or pictures or memories, just ask, okay, am I a walk-in? And if you are, you don't have to freak out. You don't have to go, call your mother and be like, what the fuck, like,
I'm not mean.
like, just for me, just for fun, never tell anyone. Maybe this is just information for you so you can get clear. Because when I got that, I was like, wow, I don't have to be so attached to the stories of my past anymore, because they're actually not my stories. I'm the being that I am now. What do I want to create? Not using my past to reference what I can choose today. And
There
then
is so
maybe,
much
yeah,
freedom in that.
freedom. But that's what you asked me. What did I get? I said freedom. What did you
Yeah.
get, Nell, from it, from the
Yeah,
conversation?
actually, clarity, definitely. Clarity and more congruency with my body, because when there is no interference and there is nothing around, and it's like, and when you spoke about movies, it's funny, I got Traveler. Did you saw Traveler on Netflix?
I
Like
think I
that
did. I don't know.
beings jumping on from from the future, jumping in the bodies of yeah, so it's a bit the same thing. But
Yeah.
I think without no definition, no point of view, and etc. Just come and explore it.
Yeah, if it's
Explore
you'll
it
know
for
this
yourself.
is
You will
very
know.
like you'll know if this pops for you, just come and explore this conversation. And it may, like you said, give you more freedom and more clarity. And what would it be like to have that communion with your body where it isn't confusing?
Yes.
So thank you,
Yes,
Mel.
please. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Artola, for being here.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm
Everyone else
looking
for
forward.
watching. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.